How hard is it to make a living as a comic, I guess? I imagine it's different for all different kind of people. I imagine a lot of people have to have like a day job or something to survive off of, especially if you're first getting into it. I mean, I imagine it's sort of a broad question, I know, but what's your sort of take on that?
Well, I'd say it's almost impossible. I work a day job. I'm a farmer Dusty up here, and that's where my money comes from, so I can like do the comedy.
Right.
Comedy's not at a place now where I'm like, oh, I completely paid a bill with comedy, like a substantial bill,
Right.
like something big. I can afford my transit payments where you go over, the tolls you don't see with comedy, but that ain't much,
Hey, I hate to interrupt you, but do you have a bit about being a farmer named Dusty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got a farmer about being Dusty because there aren't a lot of jobs for Dusties out there. Most of them are farming or driving a truck. And since I've had some DUIs, I can't have CDLs right now. Like, that's not my fault. I think you start off, you make free beer, which doesn't pay any bill, unfortunately, I found out. And then you make a little money. You make just a little bit of money. I don't think you make any money till you're really
touring, maybe.
And even then, I think a lot of times your expenditures are about as much as you make. That's exactly right. Yeah. It's for the experience. Yeah. Like whenever we go out of town and do shows in like GalaxyCon, Kentucky, Louisville, we're making about even. Sometimes we make a little bit more, but if I would have just worked my regular job that weekend, I would have had the same amount of money.
Right.
But I'm obviously doing it. My gift. I like to put it as your gift. I think you're born with gifts. I'm trying to do my gift that way.
Right. Yeah.
It comes with notoriety and certain things. And some weeks you get like a job, you make more money than you've ever made doing a short amount of time, like $100 for 10 minutes. That's phenomenal, in my opinion. But if you could do that all the time, you'd be fine. But the scarcity of having those shows are kind of rare.
Right.
That's what this show's about, really. It's about we're the creative businessmen. So, we're trying to talk to other entrepreneurs and artists about how they, got into whatever either business or trade or craft that they do and how they're succeeding at it and what's been successful so far and then how to become more successful at it.
Yeah.
So I think with comedians, artists, actors, writers, it's all about self-promotion and networking. Eventually you just have to find the right opportunity. And you're a good comedian, so it's going to happen. I mean, I think, like we've talked about in business, I think one of the biggest keys to being successful is just perseverance. It's just keeping that momentum, just keep pushing forward and ignoring the failures or the lack of growth because you're a farmer, so you plant a lot of seeds. So even in life, we're planting seeds constantly.
That's right.
And a lot of those seeds will never grow, but some of those will grow, and that's what you wait for. You wait for the harvest.
That's right.
And I think, you're going to have that harvest.
100%.
You've been going at it for 6 years. It's going to happen. You're going to have those. You're going to start getting those bigger shows and getting your name out there, and people are going to appreciate your comedy because you're funny, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
You're really funny.
I agree with you, man, about the planting seeds, man. I think that's what it's about, and the perseverance. Like you just keep walking, you just keep going, and you keep going, and you keep growing. Things will happen because I know one thing for sure. Like we're talking about, 6 years ago, I was married, I was unhappy. None of this would be happening if I didn't just keep moving. And that's the same with anybody else, with anything else they go through. Just keep walking. It's called hope, and it's called a little bit of faith. And you got a little faith in yourself and hope in the future. Yeah. Man, you just keep the fuck walking. Yeah. And things will happen. Because 100%. If you don't, they won't. I know for a fact, if I didn't do a damn thing or anybody didn't do a damn thing, I know the answer is that nothing that I want to achieve will happen.
Right. Or you get the coronavirus.
Yes. Yeah, precisely.
Oh, but you're exactly right.
Yeah,
and I think it was Sam Walton said every overnight success is 20 years in the making.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah.
no one is going to see all the sacrifice, all the times you just kept walking until you're successful. Then they felt like you came out of nowhere, right? But they just
They didn't see all the work
they
that
didn't
went
see
into
that,
it.
yeah, the process
all,
that you had to go through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the beginning, you know, and I don't know, there's a lot of big names in comedy, but yeah, I wonder sometimes, you know, I look back and there are people, you know, like say Chris Rock, right? And I see some of the very early stuff he did, and I'm like, and it humbles my opinion of him, because I just thought, man, he could do it wrong, or you know, there's a couple of big names, but you're like, man, these guys are just nailing it. But you look at some of their really early stuff, and you're like, you know what, this guy's a human. This guy's a guy just like me who had to figure it out, right? Mm-hmm. And he didn't come out, and he wasn't, you know, he wasn't at the level he is today 10 years ago or 12 years or 20 years ago. Like, it's a process. Everybody has to go through that process. And what we're witnessing is, like, we're seeing you right now at the point you are in this process. But you're already, what, 7 years in? Six years in?
Yeah.
So what happens when we take a snapshot and look at you at 10 years in, right? Like, at what point does it click for you, the success part of it, right? You're successful at it. What point does it click where you're having the big paydays where you're not farmer? I don't know if that's a goal. Is it?
Oh, I definitely don't want to farm. I mean, I do it, and it's something that kind of feeds my soul in its own way. And I mean, I wouldn't mind owning one.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
But I definitely don't want to have to be out there when I don't want to be.
Right.
Kind of a thing. I wouldn't mind owning some businesses, going through some things.
Sort of like Chris Pratt. You know, he has his own farm, but you know he's not out there farming.
Right? Yeah, he's
Unless
not.
he wants to go help for the day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, whoa.
PR work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. It's just a tough place to know where success is. I think if I stopped now and nothing else happened, I'd be like, man, I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel rich because I'm not financially, but as far as spiritually, mentally, I do.
You're doing what you feel passionate about.
Well, it all hit me, man. No shit. I was at a bonfire. Never done comedy.
Not in Denton, right?
Yes, it was right there near Denton. It was in Farmer, North Carolina.
Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah, that's basically.
I was at my friend Jake's house, and we were chilling, and I've always been known as, like, you know, trying to be the funnier person in the group, trying to. In Farmer, there's not a lot of funny people. And I was there, and somebody's like, you know, I did something really funny, and they said, you know, if you don't use it, if you're not using it, man, you're wasting it.
I agree.
And that shit hit me so hard that it just woke up my third eye or something. Like, it just opened my mind to, like, holy shit, if I'm not using what I'm given, I'm wasting it. It doesn't matter if it's your voice and you're singing or your ability to create wood figures or whatever.
Shout out to Neil real quick. He did build these. Well, he at least put the pieces together.
Damn, Neil, what can't you do?
I bought these and put them together.
He bought them and put them together, but he designed them, bought them, put them together.
I designed the studio.
He designed the studio. I got to take credit for the chairs.
I was about to say, I am
these
comfortable
chairs are
as
amazing.
shit.
I picked these are.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm staying right here.
Just stay as long as you want, dude.
Yeah. You got to follow your passions, man. But let me ask you: do you think? So for me, when I was younger, money was the goal. Now it's a product of what I do, right? And money's just an exchange of value for me at this point in my life. And so basically I show someone else that I appreciate them by exchanging money with them, exchanging something that took my time, effort, and energy to earn, and I give it to them, whether it be the grocery store, whether it be I go to the comedy shop, you know, wherever we're at, I'm choosing to consciously take money out of my wallet and give it to someone. That's like me showing my appreciation. That's the way I start to think about this. But if I didn't have money, I'd do the same thing I'm doing. And if I had all the money in the world, I still think for the most part, I'd be doing the same things I'm doing currently, because I know I love my wife, I love my kids. I'm not the guy that's going to be at home all the time. I'm not the guy that's going to be home for every dinner, and I'm not going to be at every event, and I'm not going to be – I do want to be involved and active in their lives, but I'm just not that guy. I'm not that father. I'm not that husband. I love my kids. When I'm there, I'm engaged. But I enjoy being a business person, right? I enjoy this process, right? So do you think even if you had, you know, if you were wildly successful, would you still continue doing what you're doing, or would you do a Eddie Murphy and take a long sabbatical? You know,
I don't think I could ever take a sabbatical. I didn't know what that meant until you said it that way. Thought it was always the medicine you didn't want. I would say, yeah, I would definitely do it. I would have my hands in other things.
Right.
I'd love to make movies, skits, open businesses that are just pretty much just for myself.
there you go.
Like an arcade. Love video games, so I'd love an old arcade that was cheap as shit. Ain't no reason not to go. You know what I mean? I'm not making any damn money, but I had enough money. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Plus, everybody needs a failing business to help out on taxes. That ain't going to hurt nobody.
We call those trophy businesses.
Right.
There you go.
Charities.
Charities. Yeah.
But I would definitely maybe move
Plenty of
more.
those.
But I'd probably definitely move more towards video.
Okay.
Like skits, filmed things.
Right.
I'd love to make a couple of movies in my lifetime.
Nice.
And I think maybe it'll happen. I'm working on it.
Well, you know a studio now, so.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I can film every movie I've ever wanted to film in here.
We might not shoot it in this room,
Yeah.
but we'll shoot it.
Yeah.
There you go.